Guys, I don't care what you want to believe or understand at this point. I'm just giving you my opinion. The Bible states that a camel has a better chance at walking through the eye of a needle than a rich man does getting to heaven. I'm only stating this again because I want to talk to you guys about this sub to hell. Sub to hell. Sub to people are going to pay what I was told $250,000 per seat, 5 people in that sub, sent down to see a ship they call the Titanic. We're not even sure if it is that actual ship or if it's one that was built after that ship. We ain't sure. None of you are, because there was 2 ships built. Only one was covered under the insurance policies. But there was one that was built that had major flaws. Switching of nameplates and serial numbers and stuff. Oh yeah, there's things that they talk about. Anybody who is willing to take a chance on their life and go that far underwater, they signed the papers. They signed the releases that if anything happens to them, nobody is responsible for it. Oh, yeah. 5 people in a tin can that they were convinced they that built that tin can are more powerful than God. This is what they want to convince you. Now they send down unmanned vehicles that are attached to cords that they can control, and sometimes they've even gotten caught up in that Titanic dive down there. This ain't the first problem they've had. $250,000 per seat, 5 seats. You do the math. To get these guys to encapsulate you inside a machine they claim is safe. To go down, you might as well have been on the moon. Dropping down in this thing into the depths of the oceans. The depths is the first thing. The abyss is the first thing in Genesis that it says God is flying above the water, the abyss. That's the first thing in Genesis. These people think they are gods, and they can, with their technology, they can do and go anywhere God can go. Sorry, folks. I don't care how much money you have. Your money might get you killed before you live long enough to understand what life is really about. Oh, yeah, you can live high on the hog in this world. People treat you like you're a king or a queen or a princess or a prince. Doesn't mean anything. Folks, let me tell you about a family. The Kennedys. Oh, yeah. Their family was in the middle of this country. Their great grandfather or great great grandfather. They were in the middle of this country at the beginning of the 1900s when all kinds of crap broke loose. No alcohol. No, they was the laws were changing from day to day. I ain't playing with you. The families that made the money were the ones who weren't going along with the law. The Capones, Bonnie and Clyde and all them other big names at that time. Well, the Kennedys don't come up, do they? Well, that's how the Kennedys became wealthy. When alcohol was outlawed. Oh yeah. Well, of course they did. They were above it. Yep. And a generation or two later, they had all kinds of money. They had one of their people, John F. Kennedy, Jack, whatever you want to call him. I don't know how many names he had. JFK, they call him. Became president. Now, whether he was whatever side he was walking, he was a talking. And he was talking about the dark side. That's a fact. And he was even talking about how he was going to start naming names. They killed him in broad daylight. Drove his ass downtown Texas in order to see to it that it happened. They claim one man did it all. He was that good. One man, all by himself, a Russian agent, all by himself, with a single shot. Or it wasn't a single shot. It had a magazine of, I think, 5 shots. But it was still bolt action in order to load each shot. Took him out in front of everybody. I was alive, and I know where I was when it happened. His brother, I don't know, he didn't make it much longer either. They put a bullet in him that killed him too. You guys got to decide. You're either going to be for good or you're going to be for evil. There is no gray area. There is no, well, they say this is wrong, but if the law says it's all right, well, it's got to be all right. People, that ain't going to work. That ain't going to work for you when you stand before Jesus at that straight gate. It isn't going to work for you to say, well, I was in the military. I agreed to do whatever they told me to do, so I did it. Not going to work. Well, I was a cop. I was ordered to do what I did, so I did it. Not going to work. Not going to work. You had free will. You know what was right and what was wrong. You're not going to be able to lie. What are you going to say at that point? What are you going to say when you gave false witness as an officer, as a judge, knowing what you was hearing was lies and you still backed it? What are you going to say? I love you. I love all of you. Your actions, I can't stand for your actions either. I can't answer for your actions. You're going to have to answer for your own actions, folks. I'm not going to answer for them. And as mad as you get at me for pointing out what you're going to have to answer for isn't my problem. It's your problem. I'm sorry. But there are rules. They're called commandments. You know them. If you don't, you ignore them, man. Because you know where they are. People, money is not of God. It's not of God. If God wanted you to have wealth, He will give it to you, and He has done that. And He has also taken it away from those that He granted it to, and they took advantage of it in some way. They didn't do what God willed it for. People, if you live for this world, your soul's gonna die for this world. Fact. There isn't nothing that any of you can do or say to change it. If your life is based on living for this world, and everything about your life is of this world, your soul's gonna die with this world and burn. I want to say this. God only wants you to come to him with your free will. God gives you free will. He could have made us all demand to be with him. He could have made it in us, but he didn't want that. He wants those who want to be with him be in heaven. He's thrown, at one point, he threw a third of the angels out of heaven because they turned against him. He wants people of their own free will that have learned and want to live and be with him. That's who he wants. God only wants you to come to him with your free will. He could have forced you, but he wanted the choice to be yours. That's it, folks. God loves you. I love you. And Jesus died for you. If you deny him, he will deny you before the Father. Till next time.